The DNA samples were also taken from Victoria, one of the smaller bodies, and the results were also very surprising.
Of course, it was very important for us to make DNA tests of little creatures, and we didn't want to disturb big little ones, because they are so tiny that, of course, it should be done only in very special conditions, in very sterile room, in special atmosphere. So we didn't want to make it in just in simple room. That's why we had only access to headless one, where it was possible to get samples from the neck. First conclusions, both in Russia and in Mexico, was it is not human. So of all known to us DNA of organic life, I mean humans, animals, plants, bacteria, microbes, there are no correlation with DNA of Victoria. No match at all. So that's why it is clear conclusion by scientists that it's something different.
For the experts involved in this case, it's clear that this is something amazing and never before seen. But there was still more data to gather. Data that would compare their DNA sample to other human species on the planet, such as Neanderthal or Denisovan.
And we had CT scans of two bodies. And now we know that there's a male and female. And we had a high-resolution analysis of one of them. Their anatomy construction is totally different from ourselves. No human beings, no animals have type of bones as they have. All living creatures have joints. For little creatures, it's not so. It's some very strange construction, like some balls of tissues inside. This allowed them to have some movements, but not like ourselves. So they were unable to make it like this, but only like this. And same as like this. So it's clear that their movement was quite limited. Then construction of their ribs is again totally different from any living creatures. Because for all living creatures we have this central ball. Their ribs are rounded and they have no this internal part. Absolutely different construction of skull. And of course fingers and toes. They don't have mouths as we do. So it's clear that they were unable to eat hard food. Then totally different construction of ears. They had ears, but no like ears like we do, just holes. And different type of bones inside the ear. There are some bones, it is clearly seen, but different. Then they had some holes on their skull that no living creatures have. And of course, it's absolutely unclear why do they have this type of holes. So what was the reason for nature to have this hole? And of course, detailed analysis in tomography allowed to see that it's not construction, that it's one subject. Because when they make analysis on tomography, they can make it slide by slide and see tiny details on high resolution. So it's clear that it's not composed of different parts, it's one and the same subject. From the very beginning, from the first X-ray, we've seen some rounded subjects in the belly of Josephina. But when we had this detailed CT scan, Professor Galsky was able to make like a slides on the image of those eggs. And he demonstrated that those are real eggs because they have some cover, like any egg. They have some inside content. And inside, he was able to detect the fetus of some creature. So from one side, it is Josephina fetus. From other side, it is fetus of some living creature.
With all this evidence and detail, could there be something in this? that suggests, at the very least, a new species on this planet.